Wholesaling real estate is like basketball. You've got Michael Jordan and LeBron James, two of the greatest players of all times. What made them legends wasn't just their highlight reels or their flashy moves. It was their mastery of the fundamentals. And just like in basketball, if you want a long, successful career in wholesaling, you need to master the basics. Today, we're going to break down the 7 fundamentals of wholesaling real estate. Let's keep it simple and impactful. Think Wholesaling 101. At its core, wholesaling is simple. Find a property, put it under contract at a price below market value, and then you sell that contract to another buyer, typically a flipper or buy and hold investor for profit. In legal terms, when you sign that contract with the motivated seller, you gain something called equitable interests. And that's what you're actually selling, the right to purchase the property under the terms you already negotiated. Number 1, finding motivated sellers. Motivated sellers are the engine of the wholesaling machine. They're the homeowners who need to sell quickly because of financial distress, physical property distress, or personal situation like divorce or relocation. Or maybe they just inherited a property they don't want anymore. One way to find these sellers is tapping into foreclosure lists, probate records, or simply driving for dollars. Remember, you're looking for 2 things, motivation and equity. Without both, the deals usually don't work. See, here's the thing. Motivation without equity is like finding a gold mine with no shovel. A seller may want to sell, but if there's no equity in the property, there's no room for you to make a profit. Conversely, equity without motivation means the seller has no real incentive to give you a deal. That's why you need both. Number 2 is very important. Build your buyers list. Think of your buyers list as your safety net. A strong list ensures that you have someone ready to purchase your contracts right away. Start with networking. Attend local real estate meetups, join Facebook groups. Even though those don't work as effectively as they used to, you can maybe even connect with investors in person, like stopping by a flip project and seeing if the owner is there, or if you can get the owner's contact information from the contractor. But here's the secret sauce. Don't just build a list, build relationships. Find out what your buyers are looking for, whether it's a property in a specific zip code, or it's a certain retail value, or something with a particular profit margin. Tailoring deals to your buyer's preferences will set you apart as a reliable wholesaler. Think of this like the customer service in real estate. What I like to call this is the buyer's box. The buyer's box is a specific type and detailed property that the buyer will tell you they want. For example, they'll say something like a house that's no older than 1970. There must be 3 bedrooms plus, or needs to have at least 1.5 bath. Must be in this zip code and absolutely stay away from this zip code. Those details that they give you are simply a buyer's box. They're saying that if you can find this exact property in this exact condition, in this exact area, I'll buy it no matter what. Number 3 is where lots of people struggle and why they never get to their first deal. And this is called analyzing deals. There's a phrase that says a good deal sells itself. There's a reason why that phrase exists. You must know how to calculate the after repair value, also known as the ARV, and the maximum allowable offer, also known as the MAO. And the reason why most people fail at this is because they get scared when the numbers are big. You need to study your market. You need to understand the value of homes so you can just know what an actual good deal looks like. One thing that I like to do is use the medium value, right? Like there's a price. For example, when I first started wholesaling, the active price that anybody could really purchase was a house under 200, like 180,000 to 200,000. But you can learn this very simply by speaking to active buyers. These guys are going to tell you exactly what they want to help them get properties that they need. And you'll learn that and be able to negotiate good deals. So start with the 70% rule. Take the ARV, multiply it by 70%, and subtract the repair cost to determine your MOA. But don't forget to add your wholesaling fee in there. For example, If the home's ARV is 200,000 and the repairs are 30,000, plus you want to make 10K, then the MAO, or the maximum allowable offer, is 100,000. But remember, that 70% rule is just like a guideline. It may vary depending on your market or the type of real estate market that we're in. Markets like California and New York they may even go up to like 80, 85, 90. I'm not sure, but remember, this is just a benchmark. Number 4 is negotiating contracts. You see, negotiating is more of an art than science. While price is a key lever, it's not the only thing. You got terms, you got contingencies, and you have the seller's unique situation that all play a role into negotiating the contract. For example, if a seller is in a foreclosure, they may prioritize a quick close over a higher price. It's always better for you to listen more than you actually speak. Remember, a great wholesaler is also a great problem solver. In the reality, wholesalers are just problem solvers. We're just solving probably some of the biggest problems that most people have in their life. One trick that I use is the anchoring technique. You may have heard this, but I start with a lower but reasonable offer to anchor the negotiation in my favor. Here's one of my favorite books to read when you want to learn about just negotiation in general. It's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I'll make sure to put the link in there, but he teaches the art and the science of negotiating. He's an he's an ex-FBI negotiator. I think he was a hostage negotiator, but it's a good book just to kind of understand how you talk and how you phrase things in negotiation, because it's very important. Number 5 is marketing your contract. Marketing your deals is, it's about creating urgency and presenting the value to the end buyer, or the buyer, which is the flipper. When you send out that email blast or text message or whatever you may post in your network, make sure you highlight the deal's key metrics, right? So you're going to talk about the ARV, the after repair value, your estimated repair cost, and even potential profit. Now, some people say don't put this, but good wholesalers that understand the market will put as much detail as much as they can. And make sure you use phrases like won't last long, so that it just instills urgency. But always be truthful. Also, you need to include good quality photos, good quality videos, because most of the time my buyers will make a decision to buy or not to buy based on looking at the pictures and videos I send them on WhatsApp, or I send them in a group. You're not just selling a contract, you're selling an opportunity for the person that needs that opportunity. Number 6, this is a big one. If you don't have this, you don't have anything, and that's closing the deal. You see, your title company or your closing attorney is your best friend. Now, I say title company and I say closing attorney because in North Carolina, we're an attorney state. In some other states, you're a title company. You'll learn more about this later. But they'll make sure that all the legitimacies are handled, from the title searches to the wire transfer. Listen, always have a backup buyer lined up, ready to go, just in case your primary buyer backs out. A deal is not done until the funds hit your account. So don't celebrate too early, and treat the closing process like a pro athlete treats game day. Precision is everything, and that's why having a good closing or transaction system is important. Now, you may have heard me say this if you've watched any of my videos. Number 7 is stay consistent. You see, consistency is what separates good wholesalers from great ones. Whether you're dedicating time to prospecting every day or you're consistently learning new strategies, it's the daily grind that leads to long-term success. You see, blocking out like 2 or 3 hours daily for lead generation, or tracking your metrics. How many calls do you make? How many appointments do you set? How many offers did you submit? Just like Michael Jordan, when he practiced those free throws tirelessly, your consistency in practicing the fundamentals will build you a robust wholesaling career. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: shiny object syndrome. There's new softwares or tools hitting the market every other month, and honestly, most of them are white label, but each of them are claiming to revolutionize real estate investment. Don't get me wrong, some of these actually work. Some of these tools are game changers, but they can't replace the hard work or the fundamental knowledge you need in order to actually use these tools. I don't know if you got this, but I recently got an email from Connected Investors. Now, it's a company I've been following for years because it's a North Carolina born company, and I'm a North Carolina guy. So naturally, I'm on their email list. But their email talked about them dropping something groundbreaking software in 2025. I think like January, early January, or something like that. What the email said sounds impressive on paper, but here's the thing. These type of claims, they're not new. Many tools have promised to make wholesaling effortlessly, right? Make it effortless. But none of them have replaced the need to understand your market and build relationships. Here's what did pique my interest. Since the old Connected Investors was actually acquired by First American, and First American is the largest real estate title company in America, that means they got data. I think it may actually add some credibility to what the email says, but honestly, right now I have no clue. But since Connected Investors was a North Carolina company, and North Carolina is my backyard, my stomping ground, I used to know someone who worked at Connected Investors. And what I'll do is I'll see if I can reach out to them and maybe get some more information. And that's even if they still work at the same company. Remember, it was sold, so I don't know. So for now, I wouldn't recommend jumping on this until I can verify what it's all about, but I'll do some due diligence for you guys and even try to get like a demo or something like that. No promises, because I said, I don't even know if the person still works for them. So I'll do some things and see what I can do. Maybe comment below and tell me if you even care about it, but it sounds interesting only because I know who bought it, First American. Anyways, if you've been watching this far, that means you're serious about mastering wholesaling. So I want you to drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway from today's video. And remember, YouTube is cool, but my wholesaling inner circle group, which is my free community, is where I break these fundamentals down even further to where you can take actionable steps. So if you're not inside, join now. It's 100% free, and I'll see you guys inside.